Today we're going to learn how to bake bread using an 18th century bake oven. Now we have a period correct 18th century bake oven here, and one term that you've probably heard is firing up an oven. If you've ever heard anybody say that, it is an 18th century term that comes from starting a bake oven. The first thing that you're going to want to do on a day that you're baking bread, and they would have dedicated a certain day of the week to mainly baking all of their bread and get it done and over with, is you're going to want to start a fire in it. So you're going to want to put small kindling in and get the fire going, and you're going to want to let it roar until you can actually feel heat radiating from outside of the bake oven. And that's how you know that it is ready to start baking in. Now, once it's ready to start baking in, the first thing that you're going to want to do is actually scoop out the remainder of anything that is left inside of the bake oven. Now that you've got your oven scraped out, one of the things that you're going to want to do is actually check the temperature of the oven. But how do you check the temperature of an oven on an 18th century bake oven when you don't have a modern thermometer? Well, that's easy. You're going to actually take a little bit of flour or a little bit of cornmeal. This is going to act as a thermometer. You're going to throw it into the bake oven, and if it burns up immediately, then you know that your oven is way too hot. However, if it slowly goldens, then you know your oven is just perfect to put your bread in. So now that we know that our oven is perfect for use, we're actually going to go ahead and put our bread in. Now this is a simple 18th century no-knead French bread, and I prepared it last night. It does need 24 hours to set, and so we're going to go ahead and put it in. Now I'm going to use a rack in order to keep it from burning the bottom of the bread. And you're going to want to soak your door as you let your bake oven heat up, because if you don't, obviously your door is going to catch on fire. But we have soaked ours today, and so we're just going to let that sit in there. And it's going to take anywhere between 15 to 25 minutes to get this bread a golden brown, which is what we want. Now that it's been about 20 minutes, our bread has reached a beautiful golden brown, so we are going to go ahead and take it out of the oven. Most of the time I just use my apron, but be careful if you're not used to it. It can be very, very hot. Look at that beautiful golden. So we're going to transfer it into a cooler dish. And let's see how beautiful it is on the inside. Just absolutely perfect. So this is going to go really great with some homemade butter and some cheese.